the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine, from a place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome, but nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, we're going to have a look back at yesterday's game between Newcastle and West Ham United. But before we get into that and any comments, if you like what you see, please smash the likes. It really does help the channel up the search results, so thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And also, bell notification tells you when I've got a live show pre-recorded or any upcoming shows. So thank you very much indeed, guys. Yesterday saw us against West Ham United. We're all hoping for 3 points, which unfortunately we didn't get. But all in all, we'll get into the ins and outs of the game. Trolls is in the house. He says, hi, Tony. Hi, Trolls. I hope you're well. Mighty Mag says, hi, Tony and Trolls. Great game. Gordon had yesterday. Rice, I would break the bank for him. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll come on to we'll come on to Declan Rice as well, guys. I mean, we've got lots to talk about. So yeah, why not? We'll have a good delve into everything anyway. Just before I start, I did put a video out there this morning. Unfortunately, there is some scams going on at the moment. People being scammed and, being ripped off. As I've said, if something looks too good to be true, then it probably is too good to be true. So, guys, look into things before you jump in and buy anything or agree to do anything. Because there is people out there who will take your money off you and you'll be saying bye-bye to it. So, but if you see anything on there that doesn't look right, if you think somebody's selling something that shouldn't be or selling something at an inflated price, then do report it as well, because the more this is done, the better it is for everybody else. For people to go out and wanting to make money on stuff like match tickets and things like that, or concert tickets, there's a cost of living crisis people are going through at the moment. Energy bills are high, rates are high, interest rates are up. And yet, people are struggling to pay their bills. And maybe they're thinking, oh, well, I've got a spare bit of money, I can go to the football. But don't overpay to go to a football match. Pay the price that's supposed to be face value. If people don't want to pay it, then just let them, But if you don't give it to these scammers, they won't do it anymore. Simple as. We're seeing that as well from Trolls. Yeah, so guys, yesterday we went into the match against West Ham United. Again, it was a great, we went into this thinking, yes, 3 points. I said 2-0 to Newcastle. And I thought, okay, fair enough. That would be a good result. But what happened was we didn't. Sorry, hang on, I've got an echo there, guys. Guys. So we went into this game. I thought 2-0. Great game and what we were hoping for anyway. But we got off to what we thought was the perfect start after 38 seconds when Joe Willock scored. And we thought, oh, great, Joe Willock's got the goal. That's it, 1-0 up already, 38 seconds. But then it went to VAR. And yeah, the ball was clearly over the line when Almiron pulled it back in. So overall, we could see why it was ruled out, because the curvature of the ball was not even touching any of the line. It was unlike the Japan-Spain game where it was touching. But other than that, then we went ahead. Longstaff's through ball to Callum Wilson. What a ball that was. It was sublime. Straight through, bang, in the back of the net, 1-0. You thought, right, okay, we've scored within a couple of minutes of, Willock scoring. So let's, we're 1-0 up. Let's carry this on and let's win this game comfortably. But was far from that. West Ham were grown back into the game. And then from the corner, Almiron follows Ben Rama, so leaves a big open space at the near post. If Joe Linton had been told by one of the defenders, or Nick Pope, look, just go forward a couple of steps and get in that area, when that ball comes in from Declan Rice, Joe Linton clears it. It doesn't even get as far as Paqueta. So the ball comes over. Kieran Trippier is more interested in what Paquetá's doing, so he's trying to wrestle with him. Paquetá gets a ball through Trippier's legs, through Pope's leg. Nothing Pope could do about it. It was done that quickly, and it was 1-1. And then West Ham had the ascendancy, and they started playing well. And then we got to half time. It was 1-1, and we thought, yeah, okay, 1-1. Second half to come, yeah, let's go on and win this game in the second half. But I mean, during that first half, guys, and girls, the thing is, Maxi wasn't playing his best either, was he? He's given his chance to get on and try and claim that spot. But Maxi was just well off the pace yesterday. He just didn't look interested. I look at it and I think, does Maxi actually fit into our system? That's the thing I'm looking at. And I don't see where Maxi's fitting into the system. Yes, he played well against Man City. We all know he had a great game against Man City earlier in the season and against Wolves. But I'm not picking on Maxi because I like Maxi. But what I was looking for yesterday from St. Maxim was, I just wanted to see Maxi come out and play well. I wanted to see that drive, that determination to get balls in the box, get players on the end of the balls, get back. But I didn't see a lot of that from Maxi. I saw him going back to the old ways of trickery and trying to get around players. And, it just wasn't great, was it? I don't know. There was something missing from Maxi there. And it frustrated me because I was like, come on, Maxi, come on, just show us something. Show us the glimpses that you can be unplayable. And this is today. We need you to be unplayable because, we need to see the real Maxi back. And I just didn't get that yesterday, unfortunately. But the thing I look at is, and I'll give it to you guys in the chat as well, you can have your say on this, but with Maxi, do you think, and I think this is quite a hypothetical question, so you tell me which way is better, but do you think Maxi looked great for us because he was playing in a poor side? So that's first one. Or do you think it's now because we have got the better players that Maxi now doesn't look a great player because he's made to look ordinary? I don't know. I just don't know, guys. It's a balance. Yes, when we had that poor side under Bruce, when he first came, Maxi looked unplayable because he was probably the best player we had in the team, to be fair. But now Eddie Howe's in and he's changed the dynamics of the team, do you think Maxi now looks far from that player? Do you think he only looks great because he was in a poor team, but now he looks ordinary because he's playing in a better side? You guys, let me know what you think of that. I'm going to get to some comments before I go on to any more of the second half. How are you, the lads? Hi, Tony. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. Troll says the whole team was bad until West Ham started to get tired when Gordon came on. West Ham was knackered, so perfect time to come on. Yes, Trolls. I mean, yeah, there were. I mean, well, the thing is, the defending for that goal was poor. And as Eddie Howe put it, it was not at the high standards we have set. And he was disappointed with the way we conceded that goal. So I can see why Eddie Howe was frustrated with that. But yeah, they did tire, but we just couldn't break them down. I want to see Maxi play like Ginola, says how Mighty Mag. Yeah, I mean, again, we would like to see that happen. And, I don't know if Maxi's head's in the right space. I know he's had an injury and he's been out quite a while, but I don't know what's up with him. I mean, the lad says Maxi won the ball back in the fullback position and it ended up being sent up left where Willock was. Should be Willock sending Maxi onto the counter. Yeah, I mean, I saw that. He got the ball back and... but to me, I was just waiting for that spark from Maxi and it did not come. That did not come, that spark. ESM did have crosses and some good ones. Yeah, he didn't. He had that shot, which, he kept it low, to be fair, and it was blocked. And that's what you got to do, keep your shots low. Howie the lad says, yes, Troll, I think Maxi needs games. He's not played. Almiron and Wilson need resting. They ain't at it these days. Yeah, I mean, Wilson, he looked sharp yesterday. I thought Callum Wilson, he got his goal. And yes, he should have scored with that header. And maybe the one-on-one. Maybe when Gordon put that ball through to him, maybe he could have done better. Could he have hit it before the defender got back? But then if you think, what if that was Isak in that position, would that defender have got back? No, I don't think he would have got back. And I think Isak probably either would have scored or at least hit the target. David says, I think Maxi was playing in a poor side for me when Gordon came on. He looked really good. Yeah, he did, David. I absolutely agree with you. But I think when Maxi's playing in a poor team, he looks a world beater. But I think now, and maybe this has maybe made Eddie Howe's mind up that Maxi's not the player for him. And I've got a feeling Maxi will be sold in the summer, guys, and I really do. Troll says, we waited till Maxi had 2 or 3 defenders around and pass. That doesn't help at all. If they passed faster, he would be through, but we didn't. Again, it's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, I see what you mean. Mighty Max says, Tony, the passing in the past few games has fell below par the full team. Do you know, I just look at the team, think they're absolutely shattered. We've had a lot going on. When you think since the World Cup ended in December, and we're now just into February, so before February came along, it was January the 31st, we've played 4 Carabao Cup games within a month, as well as the Premier League games. No wonder the team looked, and an FA Cup game, so no wonder the team looked shattered, even though the FA Cup was a different side. Are we the lads say sparking going to come because there's no space to play too far up the pitch? Got to get left sides come on to us if we want to win. Yeah, we need to break these sides down. The thing is, are these teams now working us out and working out how we play? Is it time, I think, to switch maybe Almiron to the left wing and let him play there? Give the team something to think about because they know that if they put 2 players on Almiron, they know he's going to shift it to his left foot. So if he shifts it to his left foot, by the time he's done that, he's got 2 players on him and he's marked out the game. So maybe switch Almiron to the left and let him see what we can do from the left. Troll says, Willock wasn't any better than Maxi and hasn't been for 5 homes. Why not point out that instead of painting Maxi out every time? No, I'm not just... I was going to come on to Willock, actually, now you've mentioned it, Trolls. I mean, yeah, to be fair, I didn't think Willock was outstanding yesterday. I thought a lot of players in that team weren't outstanding, to be fair, yesterday. Even Cher's passing was a bit off yesterday, if I'm all honesty. But Willock, yeah, he took the goal well. Fortunately, it wasn't a goal because it was ruled out. But again, it looked like Willock was trying to run into like blind alleys. But I think all in all, it was just down to the whole team yesterday. It was just not great, was it? Howie the lad says, yeah, Trolls, Longstaff's passing so slow and Lever's in midfield. That's why others can't do their job. But I thought Longstaff's pass for Wilson's first, for that goal from Wilson was superb, mind. Troll says, now we see why we should have bought a left back in the CDM, my opinion. Again, January is a hard window to buy players in. We've seen how expensive it can get. Look what Chelsea's done. So I think we're in for a big summer. And I do believe, I think the owners will spend big in the summer. And I really do think that will happen because wherever we finish this season, whether we finish in the top 4 or we finish in the top 7, wherever we finish, the owners will make sure we strengthen. And because they'll want us to be better than what we were. When you got the likes of Leeds and West Ham coming, we need to start breaking them teams down. But to be fair on West Ham, I thought they had a terrific game yesterday. They played really well. And I just think where they are at the minute doesn't tell the truth where they should be. They should be higher up the table, in my opinion. They're a better side than where they are. David says, I think Gordon will start against Bournemouth next Saturday. I certainly hope he does because he looked good when he come on yesterday. And let's see. And I'll come on to Gordon in a moment. Howie the lad says, Almiron certainly needs benching for a while. Yes, he does. Howie the lads, he needs. I think so. Maybe give him a couple of games rest or something like that. But the thing is, again, who do you replace him with? Do you bring Isak in place of him and keep Wilson in the side? Maybe you could because he's played on the right before for Sociedad, Isak. So yeah, you could do it that way. But Almiron, or just switch Almiron to the left. I've kept saying this. If you go back to his days in the MLS, that when he plays for Paraguay, he plays on the left and comes in. So maybe switch him around. I have been saying this for a long time and never seem to get the wishes coming true that he goes on the left. Andrew says, hi, Andrew. Hope you're well, mate. He says, good afternoon, you lovely tune lot. Tony, I've created a new YouTube channel, so game if you want to re-add me as a mod, buddy. Yeah, I will do, mate. No worries. Just when the stream finishes, Andrew, just drop a link, mate. Drop a message at the end and I'll add you on, mate. No worries. And let we all know what your YouTube channel's called, mate. And he says, hi to Trolls. Scary to think that we've only missed one player and this is how we play. Yeah, again, Bruno not being in the team yesterday. I mean, it was a blow, but all in all, yes, we should have beat West Ham. But you know what? It's a point, and we take a point because a point is a positive at the end of the day. If it was a defeat, it would be a negative. So we're still 16 games unbeaten in the Premier League, and we've only still lost one game in the Premier League. So Eddie Howe has only got to win another 10 games. Stay unbeaten for another 10 games in the Premier League, and he's got the record of English managers because Frank Clark is currently in the lead with 25 on match unbeaten run with Forest back in 95. So, Eddie Howe's only got to do another 10 games and he's got that record. Howie the lad says, thought was Burn that set Callum up. No, it was Longstaff's ball from midfield straight through onto Callum Wilson and was a hell of a ball. If we keep playing like this, we'll not get Europe, in my opinion, says Trolls. Again, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. And this is what I said last night. Now, before the season started, I gave a prediction. I said, we'll win the Carabao Cup. We'll finish 7th in the Premier League, so we'll get in the Europa Conference. We'll get the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We didn't get there anywhere near that of the FA Cup, but we're in the Carabao Cup final, so that's still on for winning. But also, even if we finished 7th place this season, I would not be disappointed. And I know you may think, well, hang on, why are you not going to be disappointed? Because at the start of the season, I set myself a goal that if we finish 7th, I'd be happy with that. Any lower, I'd be disappointed. So if we finish 7th, we're in a Europa Conference League place. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you're in Europe, simple as. Yes, you want to be in the Champions League. But have we really got the squad to go in the Champions League next season and do Premier League and all the other competitions? So that's what you've got to look at first of all. But as I say, if we ended up 7th, that wouldn't surprise me, and that wouldn't disappoint me whatsoever. Ryan, hi to you, Ryan. Hope you're well. He says it's a lack of midfield of cutting in and attacking into the box. We keep it in the byline and crossing to nothing. Tony, go watch every side yesterday that scored. Not one of them crossed. Yeah, you're totally right, Ryan. I mean, that's the thing. We're trying to do too much. We don't do enough of this cutting in and shooting. I see what you mean. I mean, Almiron was doing it earlier on in the season, cutting in and getting in, but there's not so much of that now, is there? But then again, it's like I said earlier, teams are working Almiron out because they know he's got to go from his right to his left foot, because they know his weak foot's his right foot. So they're trying to keep him on his right foot. And it's standing out like a sore thumb. With Almiron now, you can see it. And that's why now he's not getting the success. But you are bang on right what you said there, Ryan. And nice to see you on the channel, mate. And if you like it, please hit the like and the subscribe. Thanks very much, mate. Andrew says, I've noticed for some time now their nerves are creeping into our game. I can't put my finger on it. We've been mint. We need an outright 20-plus goal a season, old-fashioned striker and a few in midfield. Yes, we do, Andrew, but we missed Isak yesterday. Obviously out because of concussion. I mean, also performance yesterday, could that still be the players are still high from the other night, from Tuesday when we got through in the Carabao Cup to the final? Well, their mind's still thinking of Wembley, which they shouldn't be. They should be concentrating on the game. Who knows? But let's hope Isak comes back and Isak can stay fit for the rest of the season and see what he can do. Troll says, Burns too slow. Not saying he's bad, just too slow to play left back. Yeah, well, he is a little slow, but you know what? He's played well, and that's why Matt Targett couldn't get back in the side, because he played so well at left back. Ryan says we need to look at long balls over the top. We have Gordon to beat the line and go goals. Having a slow striker in centre midfield stops us from using wingers to cut in and score. I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from on that, Ryan. You're absolutely spot on, mate. And the thing is, what I also look at is, I think if you bring Isak into the team, him and Gordon, I think, are going to be devastating because they've both got pace. We've seen the pace Isak's got. We saw it against Southampton. The Tuesday before when we played at St Mary's, when he set up Joe Linton. But the pace that Isak's got, him and Gordon are going to be devastating up there. I think they are. And I think Gordon, he'll lick his lips with having Gordon there, because if he puts balls like that through for Callum Wilson, if Isak gets on that, that's in the back of the net at least, or on target. So yeah, I totally agree. ESM for Almiron, Gordon for Maxi, Almiron on the bench. Could try that. But again, you could always say to Gordon, can you go on the right and put Almiron on the left and just have a switch over, or just switch over during the game and give a 10-minute, on each side. Who knows? Andrew says, we'll get Europe, Trolls, just not Champions League. I'd say, yeah. I think we'll finish in European place. We're absolutely bang on for that. Hope so, Andrew. Just remember, it could be worse. We could beat Chelsea, spending £500 million in 2 windows, and not even beating Fulham at home. So, think, guys, we beat Fulham at home, but Chelsea couldn't, and they've spent all that money. Trust, I'm not disappointed with the point. I am, however, in the way we played. Yeah, we didn't play great yesterday. That is the problem. We did not play great. But we're going to have games like that where we don't play great. But sometimes if you're not playing great, but you're still picking up a point, it's still a positive. Mighty Max says we have the safety 40 points already. Yeah, absolutely. At the start of the season, who knows? That could have been Eddie Howe's target. I want to get the 40 points first and then see where we go after that. So who knows? That could have been Eddie Howe's target from the start. We'll not win the cup playing as we are at the moment. Cup's a totally different game, though, how are the lads? And, what you've got to realise is, with the cup games, it's it's a totally different game altogether. The form book goes out the window when it's Premier League, and it's the cup finals, so it'll be a totally different game in 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks today as well, guys. By the way, how are the lads? Too scared to shoot most of the time too. But the thing is, we are creating the chances. We are creating the chances. So as long as we're creating chances, there's always a chance we can score. Troll says we need to use both the right and left when we attack. We are easy to read at the moment, in my opinion. Maybe Eddie needs to just do a formation change just to just give the team something to think about, because I think teams are looking at us and thinking, right, well, they're playing this 4-3-3. We can stop that, and that's what they're doing. Howie the lad says we only play in the first 20 minutes these days. Second half so slow, and the atmosphere turns into a library. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Are we going? That was the other question I was going to ask as well, guys. Are we going too hard, too quick in games to try and get the upper hand? I mean, we did it against Southampton. We were 2-0 up in 20 minutes. Southampton got a goal back through an error from Willock. But, other than that, if Southampton hadn't got that goal back, we probably would have won. We would have won that game more comfortably. But, I think we're just trying too hard in the first 20 minutes. I think we just need to pace it out. Ryan says, here's the thing, we play a front three, so that it's a responsibility to create and score goals between them. So we do need 3 attacking players. There's some are 2 wingers, a young striker, and yes, we have Gordon. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? I'll go for Diaby in the summer. If we can get Diaby in, yeah, we need another striker. I think if another striker comes in, Wilson will be a bench player next season, and that's no disrespect to Callum Wilson, but he won't be a starter. I think injuries are catching up with him. I mean, he hasn't got the pace, really. I mean, we saw that yesterday because Aguerd got up and managed to get the ball off him. But, and I'm sure the owners will spend in the summer. Well, they have to. However, the lad says, need balls through and over, like you say, Ryan, but means we need to invite them onto us. That gives us space. Yeah, but when teams like West Ham are setting up like they were yesterday, they want you to break them down, but you've got to be clever and cute to break these teams down. And that's the problem. We weren't yesterday. Ryan says, but Miggy's getting older, Saint not firing, Fraser needs to leave, Murphy needs to go. Our central mid is crap, Longstaff is okay, and Big Joe, but we need to destroy in a creative midfielder, Maddison and Rice. Yeah, I mean, Rice had a great game yesterday, and he's going to be in demand in the summer, but I hope we're in for him, because I would take him without a shadow of a doubt. Ryan says, Tony Manu striker forces on point, mate. If Burn messed up on your defenders, we are fucked. It's end product. Manu won't gift us the cup. We lose that game. Our owners will be pissed. Yeah, there will be. I mean, Rashford with nose on fire at the moment for Man United. Can't give him an inch. Now, back in the summer, before the season starting to ring, I said to somebody, I said, look, why don't we go for Rashford? I would love to bring Rashford into the club. People, oh no, we don't want him anywhere near Newcastle United. He's not good enough, and he's too much into the food banks and all this and poverty and everything, and we don't want him at our club. He's not got the right character. Well, I'm telling you now, the way he's banging goals in, I would love to have Marcus Rashford on our side. And it was only because Ten Hag come in the club that he stayed. Howie the lad says Trippier needs taking off post duties on set pieces because he's got bullied more than once this season. Again, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Hasn't been at his best on set pieces at the moment, but he does have that quality though. Ryan says, Tony, it's lack of vision. We push the byline with trips, and by the time he does that there back, it's lack of creativity on the right. Why Trips has to cross that ball. Yeah, again, I totally agree. That's why we're crying out for someone like a Diaby to come in, because he can play on that right wing, and he can play on that right wing very well. And so let's hope we go for him. And I would love to see Maddison come into the club in the summer as well. Howie the lad says, Um, yeah, lad on loan from Arsenal, France, at the more called Balogun. He's back. He's a banging striker. Go get him in the summer. I've not heard a lot about him, to be fair. How are the lads? But I'll check him out. Jules, good afternoon, Jules. She's here, Tony. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, Jules. I think it's a good point yesterday. What's your thoughts on the game? CD, we are in a building process. We have to be patient. Might need some adjustments for the rest of the season. Yeah, exactly. We are a building process. I mean, I have had the thing out saying, Isco's on a free. He's out of contract. Should we get him in the club on a free just till the end of the season? But then I kind of thought, yes, that would have been an ideal world a few days ago, but I think the squad list's been done now, so you couldn't get him in anyway. But I think he would have been just somebody to have on the bench. It'd be low risk, just till the end of the season, and then the guy's got quality. Um, and that's the thing. He's got quality. He's a serial winner. Julie don't know. Trolls Knight says, Man U missing both important centre midfielder, one to injury and one to red card, so we have the advantage. Casemiro's back for the final, by the way, Kong. He misses 3 Premier League games. They play Leeds twice and somebody else. So, yeah, he will be back. So he ain't out, mate, as much as we want him to be. Trolls, Rashford wasn't good enough when he talked about him. But now it's a different story. That's what I'm saying, though. People were saying we didn't want Rashford. I would have had him. Even at 60 million quid, I would have had him. Ryan says, everyone here knows the squad's pushing, but they're on talent to see that pass or create a spark. Bruno has that. Botman has that spark, but we don't have that quality to create. We haven't got that James Maddison type of player in the middle, and that is the problem. We need a number 6, but did we do our shopping too late in the window, guys? Did we leave it too late to buy players? And that's the problem. Troll says, I'm good. Knight says, what the F is this with doom and gloom today? Sure, we didn't lose, or am I missing some? No, we didn't lose, Kong. But I think it was just because it was a bit of a disappointing performance. The defending wasn't at the standard that it's normally at, which Eddie Howe said he was disappointed with the way we conceded the goal. But I'm sure we'll put it right. Yes, it's going to be tough going down to Bournemouth, but hopefully we'll go down there and we get the positive result and we get 3 points. Howie the lad says, get ASM on the right, he'll beat men, then put the ball in with his right peg straight off instead of cutting in. Gordon on Miggy, just to back up. The trip set pieces, I meant defensively, he marks back post. Yeah, I don't get that one why he's at the back post. I mean, I thought more than anything Trippier should be at the near post, but again, it must be the way Trippier plays. Ryan says, this goal's not free, same for a new squad. Yeah, he was due to go to Union Berlin, but I believe that moves fell through now. So I'm not sure. I'm still think he's out of contract. So I'm not sure. But as far as I was aware, he was supposed to be going to Union Berlin, but apparently it's fell through. But I don't know again how true that is. Joel says it's not about the points, it's about how we played. If we won, we would still be talking about how lucky he was. Yeah. Tony, do you see why he was sent off when he went for a player? His ban should be longer. He tried to strangle him live on TV, says Ryan. Do you know what it is? I haven't seen the incident, but what I heard of it, yeah, I mean, he should be getting a longer ban for that. It's violent conduct at the end of the day. Maybe the FA may come down hard on him. I don't know, but they need to, because a 3-game ban's not enough. Hopefully they'll come down and might even give him an extra game. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we just, who knows? One of the games could get postponed, so it could work in our favour. But we hold in hope. Hopefully this bad weather comes and they get a frozen pitch or something at Leeds or whatever, and they can't play it. And yeah, or their underground heating buggers up and then they can't play the game. Jules thought we started strong. Fair play to West Ham. I thought they came back from their dodgy start. It was frustrating in parts, but not every game is going to be pretty. Overall, I'm happy. Yeah, well said, Julie. Well said. CD says, yeah, Tony, we didn't do enough in the window. I don't think we did either. But then maybe we're looking at the summer window. We've got to watch for FFP as well, haven't we, guys? Troll says, so Man U fans saying it wasn't a red card. Well, if you're going to grab somebody around the neck, how is it not a red card? Jesus. What are they on? Ryan says, Diaby would show wingers what scoring and assists are. Having a tiny bit of quality will bring on Gordon, another young inside forward set for the future. Yeah, absolutely spot on there, Ryan, mate. Absolutely. Howie the lad says, we knew we needed midfielders for ages. Man U losing Ericsson, and within 3 days they solved it about too long in the window. Yeah, they've got a midfielder on loan from called Sabitzer. But he hasn't played a lot for Bayern, has he? So I don't know how fit he actually is, to be fair. Ryan says Tony's shown in their shirt, mate, on the internet. Right, okay then. No worries, mate. Well, even if we couldn't sign him anyway because I think the squad lists are in, aren't they? Paul says would never drop Miggy for ESM. No, not at all. Jules says, to be fair, there is one angle of Casemiro sending off where his hands are actually on his collar, shoulder. Regardless, you don't put your hands on a player, at best naive. Well, a player of Casemiro's even experience, he should know better, really, Jules. And to be fair, he gets what he gets. It's his own fault. If you're going to put your hands up to a player, you're going to get sent off, and it's simple as. Casemiro should get a hefty fine for that one, in my opinion, says Trolls. Again, yeah, he should do, shouldn't he? But again, it's one of them. We just wait and see. Ryan says, we have 10 wins, 1 lose, 10 draws. That's the issue. We are a team who can figure out how to attack, right? That's not on Eddie, but we don't have the training coaches to show them at some point. Yeah, I mean, we've only lost 1 game. The draws are the problem. If we had a lot of them draws turned into wins, we'd be further up the table. We'd probably be above Man City, in all fairness. But we are where we are. And just remember, 12 months ago, we were out of both cups. We were in third bottom in the Premier League. And so look where we are in 12 months' time in the cup final and in the top 4 of the Premier League. So it's absolutely brilliant. But so it was cometh the hour, cometh the man yesterday, wasn't it? And so after 69 minutes, this guy came on and made Flash Gordon, as we like to call him. He came on. I thought he played really well. He looked sharp. He looked up for it. The ball for Callum Wilson. What a ball that was. It was fantastic. Ball through to Callum. Did Callum take too many touches with it? Did he, he didn't anticipate the defender catching him up. That's one of the things. But overall, I thought this lad played well, and he's, in my eyes, he has to be a starter next week against Bournemouth because, he was terrific yesterday. I thought. I know he was only on for like 20 minutes, but I thought he did really well. Or 23 minutes or whatever it was, plus the injury time. But yeah, he played really well yesterday, I thought, and definitely has to start next week in my eyes. Just go back to the comments. Paul says, we're still building those draws. Last season would be defeats, and when we improve these draws, there'll be wins. Man, you've only won 13 games. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Totally agree with you, mate. And remember, the teams above us, Man United, Man City, not so much, well, Arsenal in the Europa League, they've all got European football. We haven't. We haven't got any matches. We're only playing once a week. So, unless there's midweek games. But when you think about it, we've got an advantage over these teams now. So, It's like Man United. They play Barcelona in the first leg, and then the second leg at Old Trafford is just 3 days before the Carabao Cup final. Now, if they have a tough draw in Barcelona and Man U come back to Old Trafford needing to win, they're going to go all out to try and get that win against Barcelona. And I hope that game goes to extra time penalties. I hope it's a really hard game for Man United. And, you know, and then that'll make the players even more tired by the time they get to Wembley. So we just wait and see. Troll says, Ashley era's gone. I don't like for like with these two eras. No, absolutely not, mate. No, he's gone. He's forgotten about. And couldn't have come any better. Ryan says, Miggy has had 3-month form in 4 years. At some point, the likes of Diaby will replace him. Consistency is the key. We've been off the boil since we came back, but I'm hoping the owners have their list. Because, yeah, I mean, I hope so as well, Ryan. I think the owners will. They'll have... and he goes on to say, because I read PIF wanted Osimhen over Isak and they wanted Diaby, and PIF will bring in Diaby this summer. It's a Mandarin course stopping these signs coming in because of FFP. This is the problem. FFP is causing a lot of problems, and it's only going to get worse because what Chelsea's done. Because, you know, you can't now offer longer than a 5-year contract. It's Chelsea spot that when they give Mudryk an 8-year contract and paying it over 6 years, the instalments for him, just to get round FFP. So I would love Osimhen in the summer. I think if we want to get Osimhen, we have to finish in the top 4 regardless. Because any lower than that, I don't think he comes. But, you know, who knows? We'll see what happens in the summer. Paul says, Mickey's been in form all season. He's just more than just the goals. Yeah, he has been in form, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Jules says, I thought Gordon showed real potential. He's fast. He reads the game quickly. He plays an appropriate pass. Looks like we might have a player there. Yeah, I had said this, Jules, before he came in, and people were slating me for it and saying, oh, well, we don't want him, we don't want him. And I said, look, think of how he will be under Eddie Howe. He'd probably be a totally different player under Eddie Howe to what he was at Everton. The difference is Eddie Howe will coach him better. Frank Lampard is not a great coach. So you can see why he probably struggled at Everton. But now he's here, just watch him go. And if he starts next week, he could end up being a gem. And at £45 million, it could end up being a bargain and a snip. So who knows? But time will tell. Chelsea will be interested how Gordon does against fresh players. Yeah, absolutely. I wish we could have him for the final, but he can't because he's cup tied. Away the lad says, Mickey overrated, one-footed and easy read. He is easily read. Away the lads. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're putting 2 players on him, because I know he's got to shift from right to left to get any traction. Paul talking to Ryan. Mighty Max says, Tony, we're going to need a lot of big squad next season and more games we'll be struggling. Yeah, absolutely. We need that. I mean, when we finished 5th place back in 2012 under Pardew, you know, the former owner didn't do his homework and strengthen the team. And this following season, because of European games, we were languishing near the bottom of the table. Pardew went because he went to Crystal Palace, and that was the problem. So we didn't invest then. But these owners will invest in the summer. Believe me, they will invest, because Saudis don't like being second best. The only problem is Newcastle have is when you train, it's first team versus reserve and you're second string, and that's the issue. Lack of quality train against. We all know that the squad in the cup was, the squad in the cup weren't great. We saw that, and we haven't got the strength and depth like what Man City have got. But we will have it one day. It's going to take time, and that's the problem. It all goes down to the former owner, because his investment was near enough zero. Ryan says, if you train against shite, you never get any better. Lack of quality hurts us. Yeah, again, I totally agree, Ryan. Troll says we need a minimum of quality 5 players in the summer if we get Europe, because Anderson isn't ready for that. Yeah, my opinion. Yeah, I mean, Anderson was all right when he come on, but didn't have a lot to do, to be fair, did he? Jules says, Tony, that's why a lot of fans should put down Championship manager. Yeah, Lampard, yeah, absolutely. That's what he is, isn't he? Ryan says, there should be 9 players this summer, as 4 left and 6 are gone this summer. It's a big window, hence why we didn't overspend this window. But Castor won't pay off. They're getting us. I mean, Castori, I don't know what's happening with them. We could get rid of Castor, because I'm sure all the complaints the fans have put in, the club could say, well, you're in breach of contract. You haven't provided us. If you don't provide a service, you don't deserve a contract. And to me, Castor have not provided a service. I know that. I ordered my shirt on pre-order day, like a lot of fans did. A lot of my mates were texting me, have you ordered? I said, yes, I've ordered my shirt now on the first day of pre-order launch. And it took over 2 months to get my shirt. And they were in the shops before I even got mine. And I was absolutely disgusted. And the amount of emails I sent them and nothing back from them, they were an absolute disgrace. So I hope the club gets shot of them in the summer, because they don't deserve it. They deserve to bloody go, in my opinion. David says, Gordon looked class. Yes, he did, David. Absolutely, mate. He looked brilliant, didn't he? Would you rather have Rice or Madison? You can only choose one. Oh, David. Here we go. I hate these questions because my answer is I would have both, but I can only choose one. Oh, shit, mate. What do you put me under here? Well, we need creativity, so I'd say definitely Madison. But then we need that number 6, but you need that quality there. Rice is quality, don't get me wrong. But there are other players out there we could probably get, and probably cheaper than Rice, who are just as good as what Declan Rice is. Edson Alvarez, Manu Corney. So on that point, I'm going to say Madison. Yeah, definitely I'll have Madison for his creativity. And then in the summer, we go and get either an Edson Alvarez or Manu Corney from Borussia Mönchengladbach to fill that number 6. There you are, David. I've answered the question for you. Paul says, Madison, we need to create more. Yeah, absolutely. Madison as well. Ryan says, Tony, I think we'll finish 5th or 6th. Not that I don't trust our manager. Just think bodies are breaking down too much above their level. Sad, but Europa League for me. Do you know what it is? I wouldn't be disappointed with Europa League. I'd be quite happy with that, because it's European competition. And it's bringing European nights back to St James's Park. So, yeah. I don't see Madison coming as Leicester have wiped out their debts, so not an easy buy. Yeah, but he's only got 12 months left in the summer on his contract. And they're losing Tillemans at the end of the season free. Do they want to lose Madison the season after on a free? I don't think they will. So I think I think technically Leicester will have no choice but to sell him in the summer. Apparently Leicester manager Brendan Rodgers spoke to Jack Harrison on Tuesday. We were trying to get Jack Harrison on Tuesday, but he decided to stay at Leeds. Paul says he's not signed a new contract, which was offered weeks ago. It won't be that hard. Absolutely, Paul. Apparently, it's been since September, his contract, and he doesn't want to sign it. Jules says, sorry, I meant to say how you were slated by some fans over Gordon. Other fans thinking they're playing Championship manager on their computer qualifiers and more than our recruitment team. Yeah, I know, Jules. I mean, yeah, people didn't want him, did they? And they were all like, oh, yeah, but Trippier, Shah and all this. And yeah. The thing is, things can be forgotten when you go to a new club. And sometimes it's better to have that shithousery on your own side than against you. So they probably loved the fact he was coming into the club. And you saw by the video that Newcastle did how welcoming Trippier was and Shah, and they had a laugh with him. So, yeah. Ryan says, Declan Rice or Madison, he's young and will help us cover the back four. Yeah, that's a fair point, Ryan. But again, Manu Corney's 21. He's a terrific midfielder and fits the bill as well. So, and you probably get him under half, well over, like Declan Rice probably going to cost in excess of 100 million. Manu Corney will probably cost you maximum 35 million. You see them fans every day, Jules, especially on Twitter. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Andrew says, got to go now, Tony. Have a good one later. Yeah, see you later, mate. Have a good one. Thank you very much. Sefton's in. Good afternoon, all. It was just one of those days yesterday. Bounce back ability. Absolutely, Sefton. There's always going to be a frustrating result. There's always going to be bumps in the road. But you know what? We get on with it as a club. Everybody's talking to each other. Ryan says, Madison's an injury waiting to happen. Remember his injuries before his name. Rice has a good history of not having many injuries. Yeah, he does. I mean, Rice is a terrific player, don't get me wrong. But I don't think we'll get him. I bet he'll be at Arsenal. Or there'll be clubs abroad looking for him as well. Jules talking to Sefton. Dave says, good answer. Madison would be my choice too, but Rice looked class yesterday. Yes, he did, didn't he? I mean, Declan Rice, this guy, I thought, yeah, he had a cracking game for West Ham yesterday. Ran the show, ran the midfield, and did very well indeed. But again, yeah, I would have him, but I think there'll be a lot of clubs in from Arsenal are looking at him, but I wouldn't be surprised if clubs abroad are looking at him as well, because he is a class act. Paul says Madison plays almost every game every season. His stats have been consistent. Go and look and Google it. Yeah. I think Madison's going to Spurs. He prefers them over us. We have to accept the fact that we are second choices, Ryan. Again, Ryan, we're not sure. I mean, Man City are supposed to be looking at him, but I can't see him going to Man City. And who knows? Who knows where he prefers to go? But it's all rumours. We'll see. Troll says, not Satan Gordon, but he's only played 20 minutes, but I hope he continues, of course. Yeah, absolutely. In the last 4 years, Madison's played over 30 games in the league each season, says Paul. Yeah. Ryan said, I don't have an opinion on Gordon yet. I saw him shot and set up Wilson, but consistency is the point. I can't judge a player when he plays 10 till he plays 10 games. I look on assists and goals, mate. That's what it's paid for. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely, mate. Arsenal for life. Will you be going to the League Cup final? By the time all the tickets go through, mate, I won't even get a sniff. So I doubt it very much. So I'll be watching it probably on TV at home and with a few beers. But yeah, I can't see me getting a ticket. But, who knows? But I doubt it very much. Unless I want to go and pay for the expensive hospitality at Club Wembley, which, to be fair, I'm not taking a mortgage out for that. Ryan says, Rice is the kind of player we could switch 4-2-3-1 as Rice can sit in, let the rest go forward, and the kind of player we need. Yeah, again, I would have to. Do you know what? I wouldn't say no to Declan Rice, but I just don't think we'll get him. I just think there's other clubs that will get him ahead of us, unfortunately. But who knows? We'll see what happens in the summer. Let's get the season over with first, and then let's see what happens in the summer. Paul says ESM is giving away tickets if you play his game. Oh, all right, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a strange one, isn't it? But we don't know what's happened with the SM. He just looked off the pace yesterday. Jules says, I'm dreadful at that game. I haven't played the game yet, to be fair. I'm going to have a look at that and play it, see what it's all about, because it seems to be an interesting game. Paul says, I downloaded it, play 3 games and only won 1. You have to, how many games you got to win though, Paul, to get a free ticket? Sorry guys, my internet seems to be playing up terrible today. So if it looks like I'm freezing or delayed, it's not me, it's down to the internet. I don't know what's going on, unless there's some word going around in the area somewhere. I mean, I look at yesterday's game, and it's hard to pick out a man of the match because who actually played well in the team. And the only player that, I mean, yes, some people might say, oh, yeah, Anthony Gordon man of the match because he came on and did well. But yes, he did play well. But the man of the match for me yesterday, because I think this guy, he tried everything in midfield. He was trying to get balls through. He was trying to do something in midfield to try and make the team tick. So my man of the match yesterday is this guy, Sean Longstaff. I thought he was terrific yesterday, all over in midfield. Proper workhouse. The ball he put through for Wilson was sublime, for Wilson to finish. But I thought overall he had a good game yesterday. And to me, he gets man of the match. Yes, Sky gave Agued man of the match for West Ham. But again, he did play well in defence for West Ham. But yeah, this guy I thought was terrific yesterday. All action hero, and rightly so. Sean Longstaff deserves man of the match, in my opinion. Comments. Charles says, everyone bar Big Joe, maybe Longstaff was bad yesterday. Yeah, Big Joe had a good game as well, but I've just pipped him with Longstaff for that assist. Paul says Longstaff as well. Yeah, absolutely. Now, yesterday we saw the reports. There was a lot of reports going around yesterday, and a lot of fans were a bit worried and like, oh, why have we signed him? And people were commenting yesterday saying, well, why did we bother signing Anthony Gordon? We saw there was a report in the Sun newspaper that he was caught driving. Now, he was parking his girlfriend's car up in the Hilton, or his car up in the Hilton at Gateshead. Now, he's on private property. Even if he's banned from driving, if you're on private property, you can't be done because you're not on a public road. It's like if you're a 14 or 15-year-old child and you're driving a car around on the private land, you can't get done for it. Unless you drive that car on the road, then you're breaking the law. So people weren't happy about that. But what I did say is, with the Sun newspaper, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Because it's not the best paper to take notice of. It's one of them papers, if you wipe your arse, there's more shit left on your arse than there is on the actual newspaper. Because it's full of verbal diarrhea, that newspaper. But the truth has come out about it. And what Anthony Gordon says is he didn't know he was banned from driving. And even Eddie House mentioned it as well. Because apparently the ban come into force because he didn't attend court. They'd done it in his absence, sentenced him in his absence. And he's having to explain this now to Northumbria Police. And when they sent his paperwork through for the court, they sent it to his old address. Now, obviously, he would have changed address and everything when he moved before he came to us. So the court have obviously sent it to the wrong address, which meant he didn't know there was a court case, and he's gone to court and he's been banned from driving for 6 months. Now, the thing is, if this is a genuine error, and it sounds like it could be a genuine error, then I don't think the courts can do anything about it because at the end of the day, it's not his fault. He didn't know it. But he should have been notified some way. And this only happened, he was only absent from court. He was supposed to be there on Monday. So if he hasn't known about it, he can't be blamed for it. So, and he's going to try and overturn this driving ban as well because he's appealing against it. So I think let's cut the lad some slack. Let's see. The truth will come out. The truth comes out. But it didn't, and if it is a genuine mistake, he didn't realise he was banned, then I don't see any problem. Because his girlfriend has been driving him and picking him up from training. So I don't see any problem. But, but we'll see what happens, and no doubt things will come out in due course. Troll says, they might be brilliant next game though. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan says, I think a lot of the squad has let a bit of fear into the pressure of the top four to get them. Maybe. I mean, it can be. Nerves can come into it as well. Trolls says, after I saw the interview with Gordon, I back him. Yeah, absolutely, Trolls. I did tell you, Trolls, didn't I? I did say, give him a chance and I thought he could be the bargain of the season. Who knows? Paul says, nah, I think they will come good because there's been a lot of games in January, and once we start playing once a week, you will soon see improvements. Yeah, like I said, we've played 4 Carabao Cup games within a month. That's a lot of football, isn't it? Mighty Mag says, Tony Wood starts for Forest today. Great, that's what we want. We need Wood to keep playing for Forest because they have to act, because then the clause will be activated and he has to go for 15 million. So all in all, we've only paid 10 million for Chris Wood. So brilliant bargain all around, guys. Ryan says, Tony, if a court case, he would have known months ago when he was done and his license taken away from him, mate. Sorry, he knew there was nothing. He knew that you don't know. I mean, we don't know the exact circumstances, but he's saying apparently it was sent to an old address. That's what I'm saying. If he's changed address, he's probably told. But then you would think the courts would have not been notified about his change of address as well. So we don't know what's happened. Like I say, it's all speculation. Until everything comes out in the open, we don't know anything. So I think at the moment, we just leave it as what it is at the moment. And we'll let the police sort it out and deal with it. Mighty Mag says, Colback's still there, even on the bench. He's done well. Do you know what? Colback's been all right for them, yeah. He's done all right for Forest. And because he has got Premier League experience, he's probably a good guy to have around. I mean, yeah, he played all right for us at times, but yeah. And we wish him all the best when he went to Forest and he's back in the Premier League. And good luck to the lad, The Ginger Perlos, people call him. Gary says, good afternoon, Tony. Good afternoon to you, Gary, sir. How are you? I mean, today I think Forest will beat Leeds because the City Ground is a hard place to go to these days. Liverpool found that out. Chelsea found that out. So it's not easy. And I think they'll beat Leeds. And I think Forest will be all right this season. But it's nice for us to be able to look down the other end of the table and watch people battle it out amongst ourselves, I don't want Klopp sacked yet. I want Liverpool to keep a hold of Klopp. I know he's under pressure, but please, Liverpool. I say to John Henry, the owner of Liverpool, if you do watch my channel, mate, which you probably don't, but if you did, or my video gets out anywhere, this is an appeal from me. Please, please, please keep faith with Klopp because he's doing a very, very good job at Liverpool. He's doing the best job he could ever ask for. And we play them on 2 weeks on Saturday, so on the 18th. So if he gets beat off us, then you're free to sack him after that, mate, honestly. But before then, please don't sack him because we want to get revenge on your manager. So, yeah, just keep him in the job because he's doing a really, really grand job at the minute. I mean, 3-0 defeat against Wolves, just unfortunate for him. But, just shows you how good Wolves were yesterday and how rubbish your team is, Liverpool. Mighty Max, I agree. See, Forest okay this season. Glad for them and the manager. Yeah, I am as well. They're a great club, aren't they? Ryan says, biggest problem this summer is Prem recruitment. We won't get any decent player on top of Prem saying unless Piff splash the cash. Piff will take full control. I can see that probably happen in the future, Ryan, but at the moment, we just have to wait and see what happens. But again, let's get through the rest of the season first and then worry about the transfer window when we get to the summer, because there's no point in talking about players coming in the summer when we've still got the season to go. So we'll wait till the summer and see what happens. Got to go. Take care. All says Trolls. See you later, mate. And Paul says, why won't we get decent players in the summer when the last 3 windows we have? Yeah, as I've said, take about 4 windows to probably get rid of the players you don't want. The problem is we've got players on high wages and big contracts like Jacob Murphy. That's the problem. Ashley gave him a 7-year contract because he had a good season. It doesn't help our cause because you can't just get rid of a player. It's hard to get rid of a player on a long contract. And same with like Lascelles and Ryan Fraser. These players, I suspect the likes of Ryan Fraser and Lascelles could be gone in the summer, in all honesty. But while they're here, we back them, and but we know Lascelles won't get near the team at the moment because you know, just of where we are. Playing FIFA, says Paul. I hope you're winning on that game. But yeah, but let's just see what the summer brings. But at the minute, let's concentrate on the rest of the season, see how we get on to the end of the season, and then after that, then we can judge at the end of the summer transfer window. But guys, if you like what you see, then please smash the likes. It really does help the channel with the search results. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow, and bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So yeah, guys. So I'm going to wrap up there, guys. But yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough. We might be disappointed we didn't get the win, but we got a point. We didn't lose the game. That's the main thing. We didn't lose. We still got a point. It's a point further than what Spurs are. I really think Man City will beat Spurs today. So to keep the pressure on Arsenal, because Man City will want to beat Spurs because their game in hand is against Arsenal and they'll want to beat Arsenal to get back to the summit. So, yeah. So don't worry about Spurs because I can't see Spurs beating Man City. But let's hope I haven't just put the kiss of death on that, by the way, guys. Mighty Max says, Tony has one for you. What will be the starting lineup for the final? Does Bruno walk back in? Or will Maxio go on? Bruno's got to come back in the team for the final, mate. Absolutely. He's got to. You can't just not let Bruno back in the team. That's whether ESM is even going to be in for the final because I can't see. I think he'll be on the bench. But I definitely think Bruno will definitely start the final. I've got a feeling Gordon starts next week. If Gordon plays well next week, he starts every game, but he can't play in the final, unfortunately, because he's cup tied. That's the only downside to that. But Harrison Ashby isn't cup tied, and I was surprised he weren't on the bench yesterday. Paul says, I'm not working, lol. One of the benefits of working from home. Well done, mate. Well done. Jules says, cheers, Tony. Take care. Yeah, thanks, Jules. Paul says, drop your SM and Bruno comes straight back in. Yeah, absolutely. There's no argument there whatsoever. No competition, is there? So, yeah. But guys, thank you very much for spending the time and being on the show with me. And some great comments are coming and as normal. And yeah, again, we got a point. So it's an extra point. We got 40 points. That means we're safe, guys. Yeah. But we don't think about the R word no more now because it doesn't come into our vocabulary now. So yeah, we can now watch the battle down there and have a good laugh at the battle. Mighty Mag says, great show, Tony. Are you back on later? I'm not back on my channel later, but I am on John Sinclair's channel at 3 o'clock where he's doing a match review as well. So if you want to see me on there, I'll be on there as well. So yeah, guys. But I will be back with the show probably tomorrow. And but until then, guys, I mean, take care. And I'm out of here. But how are the lads? Keep on going. And remember, guys, just one last thing. If anybody's selling tickets online for football games or whatever it is, and they're overinflated prices, be very careful of who you buy off. Make sure if you're buying a ticket, you either know the person or if the person's local to you, you say to that person, can I meet you? Give them the cash and get the ticket off them in person. Because people can always put a photograph of a ticket on and say, I'm selling this ticket, when they're clearly not. You send the money and you never see the ticket. That happened to a friend of mine. He says it's a life lesson learned, but it's not the point. Your hard-earned cash shouldn't be going to these scammers. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Just be careful what you do. But until then, guys, I've got one comment just come in from Ryan. Ashby is one for the future. Tony may not even get in the first team. Remember, we keep building. Many players will be journeyman players on their way at the top. In 2025, we will win. Yeah, Ashby's one for the future, but yeah, he could have been on the bench yesterday. That wouldn't have been a problem. But would have been nice to even come on and score the winner against West Ham. But, you know. But anyway, guys. But yeah, like I say, just keep an eye out for people like that. And but then stay safe. And see you later, guys. Bye-bye for now.